Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. Today we are going to solve yet another question in which we are going to discuss the usage of commas, right? And how commas are basically used to join different types of sentences. Now we have seen in the previous videos that we can use commas to join a dependent sentence with an independent sentence, but you also have a scenario where you have, different uses of commas interlinked, right? So commas are also used to form lists. Commas are also used to join two independent sentences, but when you have both of them together in one sentence, it gets a little bit tricky in order to gauge which of the following will be the answer, which of the following will be the best answer, how you will be using, and will you use a comma with it or not. All of that has to be a little it can be a little different. So today in this question we are going to tackle just that and see how a comma can be used in a sentence or a question where you have a list, and with that you have a couple of independent sentences as well. So let's see and then move on. So it says when Toni Morrison was awarded when Toni Morrison was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1993, she became the first African American woman to receive this honor. So, over here, if you look at it, this is one independent sentence, right? Now, if you look at the other sentence, it says, a prolific and versatile writer, Morrison wrote non fiction collections, novels, and essays and poetry. So, this is the list, right? So, non fiction collections, novels, essays, and poetry. So, this and poetry. Now, this is something that we have to remember because you're writing and poetry over here. Yes, because it is a list, and when you have more than when you have more than two elements in a list, you use a comma before and, right? But you do not use a comma after and. That is something that you have to remember. So one thing should be very clear: you will not have a comma after and over here in this position, right? So because of that reason, you're going to eliminate option C and option D. Now you're left with option A and option B. These are the two options that you are left with. Now what's the difference? In one of the options you have a semicolon after poetry, and in the other option you have a comma after poetry. Now there are two things that you have to see. The first and the foremost thing is that the sentence that is succeeding it, that is coming after it, whether that sentence is an independent sentence or a dependent sentence. That is the first thing that you have to check. And if you can check that, if you can concur to that, whatever comes, that will be after it, right? So if you look at it, it says, perhaps most famously, she wrote the libretto for Margaret Garner, an opera. So, if you look at it from perhaps, this is again the second sentence is an independent sentence. So, if you look at it, in a way, semicolon is correct because you can join two independent sentences with a semicolon. So, this over here can be correct. You can put semicolon over here, but over here in this scenario it is correct although, but it won't be the preferred option choice. Why? Because immediately after the blank you have and, right? So now I'll give you two examples. Now you have two independent sentences. One you can join with comma and, which is the natural course of it. When you want to join two independent sentences with a comma, that's what you do. You use a comma and then you add a coordinating conjunction, fanboys that we call it as well, right? So for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so these are the 7 coordinating conjunctions that you use after a comma if you join two independent sentences, right? So this is one of the things. And the second way of doing that is that you join these two independent sentences with a semicolon, as I wrote it before as well. But the problem over here is that you don't only have a semicolon over here. You have two independent sentences, semicolon, and the other independent sentence. So if you have to choose between two sentences in which both of them are independent and one of them has a comma and or a coordinating conjunction, and the other one has a semicolon and a coordinating conjunction, obviously you'll go with the one that has, if you cannot remove and, or if you cannot remove coordinating conjunction, if you have no option in which you can remove the coordinating conjunction, then you'll use a comma with it. You won't be using, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to tell you guys is that you cannot use a coordinating conjunction with a semicolon. If you want to join two independent sentences using a semicolon with an added conjunction, you can use however, moreover, furthermore, conjunctions like that, but you cannot use a coordinating conjunction with a semicolon. That is what you have to remember, and because of that, this seemingly looking right answer will also be eliminated, and your answer in this question will be option B, for two reasons. You have two independent sentences and you have a coordinating conjunction written after the comma. That is why comma will be the best preference over here and not the semicolon. So this is one of the uses of commas that we need to understand, and this can be a little confusing because you have a list before that sentence as well, so you have a lot of commas going on before that, so it may get a little confusing that you already have 3 to 4 commas and then you're using another comma. That confuses us, some students at times. So that is how you have to go about it, and that is how you have to understand that usage of comma is a very tricky business, and when you have questions like these, you have to be very careful when you are dealing with them. If you have any problem with this, if you do not understand this, I would really recommend that you put your queries and questions in the comment section, so that we can talk it out. We'll try to respond to your queries. Do subscribe to our channel and like this video as well, and hopefully we'll get back to you with some other questions and some other videos. Thank you so much for watching.